Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a problem that deals with percents of numbers. In fact, a very large number, but let's just talk through this and we'll go from there. So this is a problem from CPM's CC2, and this is section 5.2.5, specifically number 5-73. So it says in 2009, the federal government budget was $3.1 trillion. And so that's what 3.1 trillion looks like, right? So with all those zeros, then it says the government was looking to cut costs. So part A, if it decided to cut 1%, how much money did it cut? So we need to figure out what is 1% of $3.1 trillion, right? Keep in mind, 1% is as a decimal, it's written 0.01, right? As a decimal, it's 0.01. Why? Because as a fraction, 1%, remember, is 1 over 100. You take a percent to write it as a fraction, it's just put over 100. And this is read as 1/100th. So as a decimal, it's 1/100th, right? So either number you can take as a fraction or as a decimal, and to find the percent of something, you multiply. So what I want to do is I want to take a percent of this. So I can either multiply by 0.01 times this or 1 over 100 times that. Let's look at it as 1 over 100 because that'll show what we do here. So when I multiply 1 over 100 times this number here, 3.1 trillion, right? When you're multiplying by 100, 1 over 100, you're really dividing is what's happening here. It's like you take this big number and you put it over 1. Now you have fraction times a fraction, multiply straight across, and you have 100 under that, right? So the answer becomes this divided by 100. And anytime you're dividing by 100, it's moving that decimal place twice. It's so if I were to rewrite this, right, multiply by 100, everybody gets it, right? From that point on, it's over 100. Right? It's that number divided by 100. So what happens is those zeros cancel out. They divide out. It's like moving that decimal place twice over. So my answer now I have is I'm what is 1% of that would be 31000000000 and then 0. So let's write that number out. So the answer for A here is 31000000000, right? So I took out 2 zeros. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. There should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And then if we want to see what number it is, we go every third, add our comma in there. So we can see that represents $31 billion. Right? So my answer here would be 31 billion is 1%. 31 billion is 1% of 100 trillion. Excuse me, of 3.1 trillion. Okay? So we'll keep going. If the government reduced the budget by 7%, how much money did it cut? Well, if 1% is 31 billion, 7% would be 7 times that, correct? So I would just need to take this 31 billion and multiply by 7. So I'm going to take 31 times 7, and I get, what's that going to be? 217. So the answer would be 217 billion. And you can write it out with your 9 zeros or write the word billion. So 217 billion. All right. The government, it says, eliminated $93 billion from the budget. What percent did it cut? Well, I think purposely this question is here because hopefully we can see the relationship. What is the relationship of 31 billion to 93 billion? Well, what's true is 93 comes from what? Or excuse me, 31 times 3 is 93, right? If I take 31 and I multiply by 3, I get 93. So that means that is my percentage, right? Because I know that, again, 31 billion is 1% So if I multiply by 3, that makes it 3%. So it's 3% is what 93 billion is. All right. So being able to deal with numbers without having to have a calculator and dealing with large numbers, when you have it as a 1%, the nice thing is just put, like I said, put that over 100, multiply, which really is dividing by 100, and you can move your decimal place twice or cut out a couple zeros, and you still have your number there. Okay. All right. Hope that helps.